sometimes people can't believe that I'm actually here and I'm doing a nurse practitioner program. I'm like, no, wait, even those of us who live here don't. And then she told me that she can't give me the visa. So I was.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you for joining us. As usual, we have another special guest here, Akoh in the building. Aquaba. I know I got it right. You don't need to tell me. I know I got it. So today we have Akoh with us, and she's going to be sharing her visa interview experience. And if time permits us, I'm also going to ask her other questions, like probably regarding her admission, her school, and all. But for now, the focus of this video would be her visa interview. So if you already like this video, like it, comment, share, subscribe, and say welcome to our guest. So over to you, our beautiful guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, hi guys, my name is Akoh Ahin. I'm currently in the Eastern Michigan University, and I'm in a nurse practitioner program. So I'm doing my master's in adult gerontology nursing. I worked as a nurse in Ghana for a while, for about 2 years, and then now I'm in the United States and I'm doing my master's degree. So with my visa interview, the first time I started trying out US schools was actually in 2019. So in June or July of 2019, I started looking for programs, and then I got into one school. That's a very long story, but I think it's just about the visa interview we're talking about. So the first time when I got the admission, I didn't get any funding. When I reached out to my department, they said they had already given out the graduate assistantships, and then I didn't qualify for one. So the only thing I got was a success scholarship that was based on my GPA, and it wasn't so much money. So, but I don't know, funny enough, I still decided to go ahead and then apply for the visa. And it was in 2019, the pandemic hadn't happened. So I actually just applied. I got a very far date, and then I applied for an expedited appointment and I got it. So my visa interview was on 23rd December of 2019. And I think it was 8:30, I guess. So it was a very busy day because it was the Monday before Christmas, and it was just 2 days before the Christmas holiday. So when I got there were so many people there. I mean, I had watched so many videos. Of course, I like these videos. I chanced upon it some way, somehow. And then I went for the interview. I carried all my documents. So the first question she asked me was definitely about what I was going to do. Then she asked me a couple of questions. And then it got to the funding part. So on my I-20, since I didn't have any funds from the school, it was actually zero. And she asked me who was going to fund it. I said this and I said that. And then she asked me an important question, that do I have any children? So when she asked me, I actually smiled when I was answering it, because I said, no, I don't have any children. Why would you ask me if I have any children? And then she asked me, am I married? And I said, no, I'm not married. Then she kept on typing. Obviously, they're always just looking at the computer and never looking at you. And then she told me that she can't give me the visa. So I was very confused. I said, why? Why aren't you giving me the visa? Is it because I don't have any children or I'm not married? So when she gave me the slip and I came out, that was when I saw the ties to home country. I had actually seen that being mentioned a lot, the 214B. And I said, okay, probably it's because she feels like I don't have any ties to my country and I don't have any funding, which means that there is actually no guarantee I will be going to school if I come to the United States, because I don't have any funding. And one thing I think people don't realize is that the white people at the consulate, they really know as well. They know that we don't have all that much money to be able to fund our education ourselves when we come. So funding from the school, even though it always doesn't guarantee you getting a visa, it is actually one of the most important reasons why they can base on to give the visa to you. So I came home. Of course, I was sad, cried so much, ruined my Christmas. But I still, I mean, when I went to church for 31st night vigil, I put it before God. So in 2020, when I decided to try again, that was when the pandemic happened. Everything just went like downhill. The assistantships I decided to apply for, all of those things just like, it was so bleak. I didn't know what to do. So I was just trying, and I was definitely still in communication with my departments, trying to get them to extend. So they made me defer to fall of 2020. And even as at that time, the US embassy in Ghana was not open. So I reached out to them again. I told them that the consulate is still closed, so there's no way I can come. And then my department said, okay, sure. So in I think September, that way, my advisor reached out to me. It was a very, I would say it was very normal. She said, "Oh, Akusia, I know that we have already decided that you are not going to come, but I'm just asking, would you want to come?" So I actually started typing the email. Then I stopped. Then I thought about it again. I'm a church person. I'll say the Holy Spirit told me to. So I erased everything and I said, "Oh, hi. Even if I decide to come, the sponsorship I will get is not available." And she replied, it was actually very fast. She said, "What do you mean by sponsorship?" Then I said, to pay my tuition and all of that. She said, "Okay, so if you get a job on campus, would you consider that as sponsorship?" And I said, "Yes, of course, I would. I would." And she said, "Okay, so we have a GA position that's open for you. And if you want it, you can get it." So I just sent my CV, and I did not hear back from them in a while, because I actually wanted to come in January of 2021, and she reached out to me. That was around August, September of 2020. So I wasn't hearing back from them. And I was trying, but still. So when they finally got back to me, it was already December of 2020. And the international office definitely couldn't process everything for me to come in January. So I told them that I couldn't come. And she said, "Oh, no problem. Would I want to defer to the summer?" Then I said, "Oh, I think the summer is fine, because then my birthday is in May." So when I made that decision, I actually said, "Oh, probably this is going to be God's birthday gift to me." And I turned 25 in May this year. So in the summer, I tried. I was waiting for my I-20 for the whole funding bit, and it's a shocker, but then in my school, graduate assistantships are not given in the summer. So you are employed for just the fall and the winter. So in the summer, I couldn't come. After waiting so long, I couldn't come. And one other thing was that on the visa website, it said that if you have been denied a visa before, you don't qualify for an expedited appointment. Yeah. So in that regard, I did not qualify for an expedited appointment again. And the dates were so far, I think in 2023, 2022. So I was so confused, guys, because I knew I didn't qualify, and I knew that there is no way a white person is going to make an exception for just you, because if it's on the website, then you don't qualify. So I reached out to them and they said, "Oh, if I want to defer to the fall, then fine, they can let me defer to the fall." But I had it at the back of my mind that there's no way I was going to get a visa appointment. So I deferred to the fall. And then I got my I-20 with all of the funding. It looked very good. And then I decided to apply. So this was actually on my birthday. It was a very boring birthday. So around 1 p.m. Ghana time, I said, let me just apply. So when I applied, I got, I think, March 17th of 2022. Yep. Even though I was supposed to resume in the fall. Oh. So I just decided to apply. So when I applied for the Expedited, I think I added my offer letter for my GA position, my I-20, and a letter I got from my department, something like that. So as soon as I applied, I think within 30 minutes, I got, and of course, a very generic email that my application was under investigation or something. And I said, okay, let me just wait and see. So 2 weeks later, and this was on the 3rd of June of 2021. It was an afternoon. That day I was actually off duty from work. And then I checked my mail and I saw that, "Hi, Akusia, and thank you for your interest in the US visa. This is to inform you that your expedited request has been approved." I said, "Oh my God." So just go back to the website and schedule a new appointment. So there and then, no, I spent about 10 minutes crying, but that's like after, that's a different story. So I just went for my laptop And as soon as I logged in, the earliest available date was on 15th of July, of July. So I just selected the 15th of July, and I was able to book a new appointment. So leading up to the interview, I was definitely watching so many videos. And one strange thing happened. When I was going for this second interview, I did not take any other documents. Like, I'm not kidding. I took just the essentials, I-20 passport, service receipt. I did not take my certificates. I don't advise anyone to do this, but I don't know what pushed me not to do that. I went with just the essentials, not even my WS transcript. So when I got there, someone was like, they requested someone's transcript. I said, God, what is this? So I didn't bring any of these, but I knew that they can ask you to go and bring it. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so when I went then it was finally my turn. It was a woman. The first question she asked me was, hi, so can you tell me about your program? Of course, I know a lot about my program. I've been following this for the past 2 years. I said, and then she asked me the question that was the shock of my life. This program was in the same school. Was it the same one you were rejected for in 2019? I hesitated because I was so scared. I didn't know what to say. And I had actually not watched any video that addressed that particular question. Mm-hmm. So I said, yeah. And she said, so why the school? Why do you still want to go to the school? And why the same program? After I told her that I was the same one that had been rejected. So now I told her I really like the school. I really like the program. And I've been in communication with the faculty. They are really looking forward to seeing me. And then she started nodding her head. So when she started nodding, I said, maybe I don't know, maybe it's rejection or I don't know, but I had a very mixed feeling after she asked me that question. And then I saw her put this small green sticker on my passport. So she actually put it on it. And then instead of giving me, she asked me follow-up questions, but those were very normal. Who is funding the rest of your education? But the deficit I had was actually very little because my GA funded a lot of it. So then she picked this pamphlet and she gave it to me. And she was like, so this pamphlet is about knowing your rights when you work in the United States. I said, you have not told me whether you have given me or not. So why are you giving me a pamphlet? Like, what is this? And then when she looked at my face, she saw that like I was confused. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, your visa is approved. Whatever she said after that, I don't remember.
Normal.
Like everyone else.
Not to remember. It's normal.
Yeah, so that's how come I got my visa. And because of the COVID, we actually got to take our passports the very next day. So I took my passport, I booked my flight, and I arrived in Michigan on the 17th of August, 2021. So yeah. That's my story.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So there is actually so much like with how I got the admission, how I got my, but it's a very long story. Yeah. So yeah, with the visa, yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I have a question. Like when I was listening, I had something that I was confused about. So like for your first interview, did you go with any statement? Any bank?
Yes, I did. But I wasn't requested to bring the statement.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Did you write on your I-20 like the funds in that your bank statement?
They did, but the funds from the school, I think that is what the consular officers really, really concentrate on. Yeah. So they as for your personal funds, they know that you have the personal funds, but the funds from the school, at least in the Ghana consulate, I know that almost everybody who went for the visa interview with at least some percentage of funding from the school was approved. I don't know. But the people who were rejected were those who didn't have any funding at all from their school. Yeah. Then in 2018 and then in 2019, that was actually my story. I had zero funds from the school. Yeah. So I think that was what led to my rejection because it was I mean, my school is not very expensive, but it was so much money, around $37,000 as of 2019. So that is still a lot of money if you want to convert to Ghana city.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, that's my story.
And then my second question is like the second visa interview, you said you didn't go with like documents and all.
Yeah,
So did you go with the funding letter at least?
yes, I did.
Okay, okay, okay,
And
okay.
that was the only document she asked for.
The funding letter.
Yeah, so when she looked at my I-20, after she asked me that, oh, is it the same program I was rejected for? She looked at my I-20 and said, okay, now I can see that you have some funding. If you don't mind, can I see the letter for that? So I just passed it under that thing that you pass it under. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
only thing she asked for. She didn't ask to see my transcript. She didn't ask to see anything. And I want to mention something from a friend who also came to Eastern Michigan University. So he had applied to a Canadian school, University of Guelph, and he had a full funding, but he was rejected the Canadian visa. When he went for his US visa interview, that was the first question he was asked. So he said as soon as he got there, the woman asked him, have you been denied a Canadian visa before?
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, what is this? Why are you asking me that? I mean, this is United States.
It's
And
like that.
he said yes.
They
And
share
then I
information.
think, yeah, because he was honest, even he didn't have a full tuition waiver like I do. He had just 50%, but his visa was approved, and then we are actually in the same school. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that for people who might think that they don't share information, they do
They
share
do.
information. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing your visa interview experience. I'm so glad for you. I'm so glad that you got into that rejection. No, 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 no. It's not that.
It's a very terrible experience.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
very sad. Yeah, I bought so
Okay.
many things. I thought I was coming back. I
So,
didn't
is
get.
there anything you would like to share with us again before I ask my final question?
I just want to say that once you get the admission, just make sure that you are in constant communication with the people in your faculty. There is one thing I never knew, but white people are actually very nice people. They will want to talk to you every time. They will want to know what is going on, and they understand the struggles an international student will face when it comes to visa problems. So even if it's after 2 years, in my case was after 2 years, after 3 years, no matter how long, if it's something you really, really want to do, then just make sure that you are still in communication with them. If it's funding, they will try their best to reserve it for you, and they will help you come. So you just have to make sure that you are not losing communication with them. If it's something you want to do, just make sure that you are pursuing it no matter how long it takes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I said I was going to ask just one question, but
Okay.
it's not going to be the final anywhere. I just remember something because I
Okay.
don't know, like, how many schools did you apply to?
Okay. So I applied to three.
Okay.
I applied to three schools, but I actually said that how I got admission was actually very. It's also a very like miraculous story. So with nursing, before you can do your masters in the United States, you need to be licensed as a nurse in the US.
Oh.
So for the other two schools, when I applied, I got a straight out rejection because I did not have this. So this school that I am in, they actually rejected me the first time. Then on 16th October of 2019, I remember all the dates, they reached out to me and they said, oh, we know that we said earlier that you don't qualify because you don't have the NCLEX, but we want to make an exception and admit you. Yep. So that was the genesis of it. And I'm still not licensed to work in the United States, though I've been given a year to do that, and I'll definitely do that by the end of 2022. But so this school was the one that actually gave me the opportunity. And as a result of me coming here, it has actually opened a way or a door. And I know two other international students who have actually been admitted.
Wow.
And the last time when I checked my school's website, the School of Nursing, they have actually taken down that phrase that you need to have your US nursing license. They have taken it down.
Wow.
So I feel like I was the one who set the
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Yes, yes. I like to hear that.
Because all other international students who have come had written the NCLEX, but I didn't write it. But when I got here, they have admitted two other people. So I applied to other schools, just that I got a straight out rejection. Eastern Michigan University was the only school that gave me a conditional admission that I should get my NCLEX. But I'm taking classes now. Yeah. So by next year, I should get my license and then I can start back. Yeah, I know.
So happy to hear it. Yeah. Breaking limits.
I
Yes.
know.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I didn't know about that part of things. Oh wow. Now
So
I
nursing
know.
masters is not easy, especially in the United States. I mean, with health, you know how these people, their health system is, they hardly let people in.
Yeah.
They
Which is
hardly let people in.
understandable.
So engineering, humanities, you are good to go, but nursing, no way.
Has to do with
Sometimes
life
people can't believe
firsthand.
it. Sometimes people can't believe that I'm actually here and I'm doing a nurse practitioner program. Like, no way. Even those of us who live here don't find it so easy to get into NP school. So how come you came all the way across the world and you are doing this? So people, I mean, it's a great blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, your testimony. So glad, like super glad. At least we got to know a bit about
Yeah.
your
So then if
admission.
you're a nurse and you want to come, try EM. They are going to let you come,
Yes,
but you have to get your license after a year. Yeah, Eastern
okay.
Michigan.
Eastern Michigan University. EMU.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there are people that will be asking what school? Because when I interviewed it, now everybody like she said it in the video, but they didn't listen.
I
They were just
know,
asking
right?
what school, what school?
Probably you have to add it to the description.
I will try. I will try. Oh my god, I'm so thankful. Like Akoso, thank you for sharing your story. I think I saw your comment was from Ifunaya's video. You
I,
commented that
I I comment a lot because
about like this sharing your own experience, I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
sharing. So when it was actually cooking, I commented that I will share my testimony one time. It
Wow.
was about the
If you
lady in
find it,
Cornell.
please, I would like to put that comment here. If we find it,
I
please search for it. I'll
think
search if I find it so that
yeah,
I can put it here. It'd be nice.
yeah, it's about the lady who went to Cornell.
Yeah, Tolu.
Yeah, yeah. It was about her because around that time, that was when I had also gotten my funding, but then they didn't process it early and I couldn't come. Yeah, so yeah,
Aww.
that is
Aww.
the
Aww.
story.
Aww. Aww.
And
Oh my
Aladi,
god.
like, thank you so much. I mean, every
Aww.
time I'm tempted not to study or something, I go like academic professional. Like, I always remember. And when I saw your graduation video, I mean, I started bawling my eyes out. I cried. I'm not going to lie.
Aww.
I was like, God, I commented on Instagram, I commented on
Aww.
YouTube, I commented everywhere. But I know. And when I came there, the learning has been so daunting. Like, it's so hard. So I really, really understand how you felt. Like, you are studying so much, but it looks as if your efforts are not getting you anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've done so well. You've done
Thank
so.
you. Thank you. Yeah. Like you don't know how happy I am. Like I said at the beginning of this video, like seeing more women, like get
Yeah,
here. It's really
yeah,
encouraging and it will help like the younger ones, like
that,
girls, you can do it, you
yeah.
know?
And the fact that I did everything on my own. I mean, there are people who still text me and think I used an agent. I did everything on my own. Like the application, I didn't use any agent. People still can't believe it though, because there are people who think like, oh, they have to go to an agent or probably no, you can do this on your own if you want to. You can do it on your own. If you have a computer, if you have a smartphone, you have internet connection, you can come to the United States, get funding, and you
Exactly.
pay anyone a penny for bringing you here. Yeah.
I know, right? It's true. Like even myself, I didn't use an agent, nothing. And I applied to like 8 schools. I did
Yeah,
them all by myself.
you really did great. I applied to schools in other countries, but
Yeah.
I mean, in another country, it was either no funding or a rejection. So in the schools I applied to in Canada, I wasn't accepted to those because they were actually very big schools. I didn't know that, like, probably Ivy League in Canada. And then in other schools as well, I didn't get so much funding. So I didn't go. And I don't have money. I mean, I don't come from a rich family. It's just a middle income family. So I don't think I want to break my family's bank account just because I want to travel.
Yeah.
So that's how I had to wait to get
probably you're not the only one they're taking care of. There are other things
right.
as well. So it's like it's crazy.
I know, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Aladi. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm really happy. Guys, you must like this video. It's a must now. I'm just kidding, but yeah, thank you so much, Akoh. Well, I think you kind of already, because I think the time I asked you to share anything you wanted to share before I asked my last question, then I think you kind of like give an advice. But if you have any advice, that's usually the last question. If you have any advice for people, this is the time to share.
Any advice? If you want to come, just come. Do your homework well. Make sure that you cover all your bases. White people, I mean, Americans don't really like to work with someone who's not really prepared. So make sure you put everything in order before you start, because they are going to help someone who seems very ready and very willing to be helped as well. Yep.
Yes, exactly. I agree with that. You must know what you want.
Yeah.
You must be prepared, actually.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much, our beautiful guest. Thank you for sharing your experience. So if you've been watching YouTube videos, you know what we're supposed to do at this point. Tell them what to do.
So please like this video, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Thank you so much.
Share it as well. Share the video for people.
Share. It's very important. Share it to your sisters, brothers, uncles,
everyone.
Grandpa. All right, guys, we have come to the end of today's video, and I really appreciate you guys for joining us. Thank you to our wonderful guest for coming in. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next episode. There's another one coming. Wait for it. All right.